What is up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, and welcome to the local report. What is up YouTube? Welcome to this Plunder Patrol deck profile that also doubles as the local report, my way of bringing back the old tournament diaries that I used to do, reporting in how I did at various tournaments that I went to. I went to my first locals back after the coronavirus pandemic, and kind of engaging in all of the social distancing rules, etc. So this is only a 3-round 14-man event because that was all we could fit into the room with the meter distancing rule in place. And I ended up going 2-1. I'll be talking about the results at the end of the video and a little bit about how the games went, but in the meantime, we're going to get right into the list that I played, and this is a little different from the Plunder Patrol list I brought you guys when I first came back to the channel. So let's get right into it. So starting things off, we played 3 copies of Whitebeard, the Plunder Patrol Helm. Now Whitebeard, in my opinion, is still the single best monster in the list. When he's on the field, of course, he can tag out into a different extra deck monster, and when he leaves your hand or the field as a monster card, he's going to special summon your Plunder Patrol monster from the deck. I just think he continues to be a fantastic asset. He's the most ridiculous thing in the world when you combine him together with Plunder Patrol Booty. Just the amount of value this one card represents is phenomenal. We're then playing still the 1 copy of Redbeard. I like Redbeard as the option to search off of the white, but I don't really like him in any other situation. So a lot of people kind of contradict that and say, Jay, you should really be playing more Redbeards, but aside from using him here, or using him with Booty, which I only play 1 copy of if memory serves, I don't think that Redbeard is really the card for me. It doesn't suit the way I play the deck, so 1 is enough for me. What I am playing 3 of, however, is 3 copies of the newer tuner Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. She's just a very simple tuner monster for the list with 2 forms of acceleration to special summon herself from the hand and from the graveyard. You really want to get her in there as quickly as possible because when she's in the grave, she's going to set up a lot of free access to your Plunder Patrol rank 2, and when she's in your hand, she's going to be fantastic access to your Halqifibrax play, which gives you a massive amount of advantage quite early on in the game. And then, speaking of acceleration, we then also play 3 copies of Bluebeard, the Plunder Patrol Shipwright. So Bluebeard is really cool. There's so many cards in this deck that benefit from being discarded from the hand to the graveyard or just finding themselves in the graveyard in general. That being a Danger Engine and almost half of the Plunder Patrol archetype themselves with cards like Golden Hair and Whitebeard. So he's phenomenal for that. You can special summon him from your hand when you do have a Plunder Patrol monster on the field, so he's the perfect asset to go into a Hulk or into a Blackbeard if you're using Golden Hair or Whitebeard. He's fantastic at moving you through your cards in your hand to get you towards your hand traps or get you towards that extra Plunder Patrol card that you're going to need for the bigger extra deck monsters. He just fits the archetype to a T. I love him to bits. Just a great asset for the list. Then I did make mention of a Danger Engine, and we are playing Dangers in the form of 1 copy of Nessie, 1 copy of Tsuchinoko, 1 copy of Jackalope, and 2 copies of Danger Mothman. The 2 Mothmen are a slight carryover from a list where I used to play Adamancipator Dragite, and a few other level 8 Synchros and level 4 Xyzes that we could use in tandem with a lot of the level 4 tuners that the deck supports in here. However, I've still kind of carried on going forwards, and I think that these 5 Danger monsters are fantastic for the way that the list makes use of discard effects, primarily from cards like Bluebeard that we just discussed, as well as their field spell Shipyard. So I think these are really cool for that. Also, that the discard effect of Mothman procs these and procs some of the other Plunder Patrol cards that would benefit from it. So I feel like this Danger Engine, it's a nice small package to give you extra extension to the field to make that all-important Blackbeard. I just think it complements the deck fantastically well. The fact that these are all upstart goblins as well give you additional draws. I just can't find a real complaint about them. There are probably stronger cards if you're playing, say, a hard-going second version of this, like with the Dangers, but I'm not. This is a fairly going first-oriented list. We then get into kind of, I suppose, the accessory cards. We're playing the 1 copy of Mecha Phantom Beast Olion for the obvious Halqifibrax plays, and then we're playing a large complement of hand traps, as is every deck that I make at the moment. So we're playing the 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. And the reason why we play so many hand traps in the list is that once you really get through your 2-card play and get towards your first Blackbeard that you're trying to set up, or your Halqifibrax play, the rest of the cards in your hand, with the exception of the one necessary Plunder Patrol card that you need in hand for the effects of the Plunder Patrol Exceed, Synchro, and Fusion monster, everything else can be hand traps, and you have so much deep draw that you can modulate your hand to move towards them. So you're not going to be setting very many real traps. You're usually going to be ending on a Blackbeard or the Halqifibrax board, and then hand traps. And that's all you should ever need. Of course, with Impermanence, we're going to need to set it, but the other 2 cards in there, you can just stay hidden away. Your opponent doesn't even know you have them as a response. So that's the full, I guess, monster and hand trap lineup. I know Impermanence is a physical trap, but sometimes it's quite cute to add it in with the rest of the hand trap lineup. So then moving through, we do play in our spell lineup 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Shipyard. Shipyard is a fantastic asset to the deck in the fact that it discards cards from your hand, of course triggering some of the relevant Plunder Patrol cards effects, and searches your deck for any Plunder Patrol card, really improving the consistency in the way that you can get to your advantageous cards like your Whitebeards, your Golden Hairs, Bluebeards, whatever you could need for the situation. If it's a spare, you're often going to search booty, or maybe even shipping if you need it to get to your emblem. The options this card brings forward for the deck are ridiculous, and the fact that this is a card that can jump out of the graveyard with an advantageous effect in that if you have a Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap card zone, you can bounce that to your hand to set this back onto the field, and that bounce back is almost always giving you free resources in your hand, so it's just absolutely ridiculous. There are often situations where you'll use, say, a Redbeard to make a Blackbeard. The Redbeard equips itself to the Blackbeard, and then you can just bounce the red back to your hand with Shipyard. The amount of optionality it gives you is ludicrous. Moving through, we do also play 3 copies of Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. So I'm playing 3 in this list because we're playing the Power Tool Dragon combo in here. However, it is also a really cute way to get accelerated access to some of your extra deck monsters that your opponent's deck might dictate that you can't get to. So say, for example, if you find yourself with a light monster in your grave quite early in the game, you manage to get, say, an Effect Veiler in there very, very early, you're going to be able to get into a Plunder Patrol Lice where previously you had no business doing so. You can get the same bonuses off of things like a Linkross as well. So the fact that you can use Emblem in the Power Tool Dragon combo, and then when you have a Linkross engrave, you can use the Emblem to make a light monster. It's really, really cool. I'm then playing 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship-Shaped Ship-Shipping. Ship-Shipping I almost never use as a fusion spell. I almost always use it as a discard outlet, something to send to the graveyard and then get free access to my emblem to tag a monster out into something much, much better. So Ship-Shipping is just cool for that. I was previously playing 1, but I still can't find my 3rd Caught by the Grave and I needed to fill the space. So it's between this and a Salvage. I mean, you can see what won out. Then for the few one-offs that I do play, I play the 1 copy of Terraforming to get to the field spells because they're so good, 1 copy of Salvage because I didn't think 2 was all that necessary, 2 copies of Call by the Grave because, like I said, I couldn't find a 3rd, and I actually didn't really miss it, but of course you want the consistency of it when you can because we are playing a Halqifibrax engine and we want to go first, 2 copies of Pot of Desires because you almost never want to see you actually don't really want to see 2 in the same game, but you want to see the card. So 2 was a good ratio, although in a certain game, I think, which I got on record, I had to use 2 of them in the same game, which was horrendous. So there was those. And just to go into the trap lineup, I'm going to love this when I edit the chapters later on. Plunder Patrol Booty is the one actual trap we're playing in the list. It's just cute. You have it when you need it. I don't feel like you really need multiples of it, and I don't really feel like the other traps are all that good in the combo-based version, so the 1 copy of Booty is enough for me, and that rounds us off at 40 cards on the nose. Then for our extra deck, we have a smattering of SP Kyriel tokens for all of our token work that we're going to get with O-Lion and things like that. Then for the real cards, we have 3 copies of Blackbeard, the Plunder Patrol Captain. Blackbeard is the card you want to rush towards. I wish I could play like 5 of him if I could, but he's just so cool in the amount of cute interactions you can have with this. So fundamentally, he's a quick effect that can link out, that can tag out, I guess, absolutely whenever he really wants. The fact that he can hop into things like Lice that then special summon him immediately back to the field. Like the amount of little bits and pieces he can do, the fact that he can trigger this effect in the battle phase, so he can go 16 or whatever buff he's getting from the field spell, and then tag out into, say, a Lice, and then hit for 20 for 2,000 plus whatever buff it's getting. he just does so much for you. And of course, the card draw means that he is almost a Link 1 with how easy it is to get extension onto the field. And that's the coolest part. While he's a Link 2, and therefore he's inherently worse than, say, Magical Musketeer Max, the fact that he has that card replacement, and the fact that the whole archetype is so willing to make him is ridiculous. You also have other cute ways into him that I didn't really mention, with things like the Golden Hair, wherein you can summon Golden Hair, turn it into an Almirage, bring it back, and then make this guy, like, the possibilities are nearly endless. I love him to bits. And then for the other Plunder Patrol support, we play 2 copies of Patrol Ship Moark. This is your monster out. We then play 1 copy of Bran, because with this being the combo version, space is at a premium. I feel like Bran is the worst of these 2, and one of them had to go to 1, so Bran was unfortunately the one that suffered the cut, but I never really missed the second one. A lot of fire decks in the metagame right now don't make use of a lot of back row, so where this card is going to be coming out a lot, we're actually only ever going to need the 1 anyway. So the cute Bran tech choice, and then 2 copies of Lice. I think Lice is the most powerful one of them all because of the fact that it allows you to recur whichever monster is behind it, or if another monster finds its way back there, that's great. You make it in your own turn using Blackbeard, you summon Blackbeard back to the field in your opponent's turn, you can use the Blackbeard again, so the amount of recursion it gives you is ludicrous. So love this engine to pieces. Then for the other non-Plunder Patrol stuff I play, it's the 1 Almirage for the combo I was literally just talking about to get you to the Blackbeard very consistently, because it's kind of no Blackbeard, no party. 1 Linkross and 1 Needle Fiber or Hulk of Fibrax for the Hulk of Fibrax combo. And that's all the Link monsters. Then we play the Synchros for the support of that combo in the form of 1 Martial Metal Marcher, 1 Herald of the Arclight, 1 FA Dawn Dragster, and 1 Power Tool Dragon. There were no room for any level 8s without me potentially cutting something like the Power Tool Dragon, which I really didn't want to do. And the 8s came up less often than having the choice between these 2, depending on what I need to do. If you draw an emblem, the full combo becomes useless if you don't play an option other than Power Tool Dragon. So I think that's all I really needed to play. But that's a full deck profile. Let's get into talking about the matchups that I had. So I'll be fairly brief on this because we've already run on for quite some time. Round 1 ended up being a match, of course my first IRL match for 4 months, I believe it was, playing up against Infernoid. I realized very quickly it's my most horrendous matchup, and I also completely messed up my chain links. I ended up summoning a Hulk of Fibrax to the field for my turn 1 play, didn't declare my chain links correctly, asked for a response and the Hulk of Fibrax got ashed, and then I couldn't trigger the 2 Plunder Patrols that I'd sent to the graveyard, and I also should have chain blocked it anyway. So I lost myself the game pretty much immediately there. Game 2, I did not have a strong opening whatsoever, and the fact that it was Lernoid meant that everything that I was building with protections such as the non-targeting protection from cards like Emblem, it's just irrelevant. Golden Hair struggles to jump out the grave when she can just get banished at any minute. Infernoid is a hell of a matchup. So I lost 0. I went into the event 0-1. Because of my own mistake, but also the matchup is horrendous. Then I guess spoilers for you guys who haven't watched the duel videos, which you really should do. Round 2 was up against Salamangrate Rufio, so you really should check that duel out. It was a lot of fun. Up against that matchup, I have a lot stronger time. I quite enjoy control decks with this list because the amount of recursion I have, I can often outdo a lot of control lists because as long as you can out their control traps, you're going to have yourself a great time. So Roar and Rage are only so powerful, and if you have as many hand traps as I do, you can often stop their combos from even going ahead. So again, that game is fairly swift. There's not a lot of fun that is had in that duel because there's a lot of back and forth. No one's setting up massive boards until real kill shots start to come in. And then finally for round 3, I ended up playing against the ever-hated Altergeist, and that one was a bit of a weird one. We ended up getting, my most kind of vivid memory from it is we ended up getting stuck in a lull game state for a good while, wherein there's a recurring Silquacious and a manifestation that I just cannot get my way around because he also has a protocol on the field, which means I can't negate what the Silquacious is doing, and I only have enough advantage to make 2 plays, and the manifestation combined with the Silquacious bounce is enough to stop 2 plays every turn, so we go back and forth with that until I can establish a booty, and eventually I managed to push through him, and that one ended up being a 2-0. So at the end of the event, I ended up finishing at 2-1. I've got a very brief pack opening, which is probably going to be in my vlog, and of course this whole event was talked about in the local vlog, which I'd love for you guys to check out, but that does bring me to to about the close of the video. I hope you have all enjoyed. I didn't talk about my side deck just before I forget to mention it, because my sideboard really doesn't merit any recognition. I ended up borrowing the Gizmek engine for the event, only to never actually use it because no one played the Halka-Fibrax combo and anything that I went up against, which was a bit of a refreshing change to all the stuff I've played online. But yes, I hope you have all enjoyed, guys. If you have, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new here, and share this to your friends if you think they would enjoy it. I've been Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Peace out. Bye-bye.